Hello, everybody. I'm Peter from Seattle Sports CEO and my own blog, PT NFL Fan, and this is the first edition of Tape Review. This time, I'm going to look at Frank Clark sacks and one or two fumble plays that he had, and I'll explain to you what I thought of the plays and what he did well and what he can improve on. Obviously, as y'all know, Frank Clark had a tremendous second year of his first in the NFL, and I advise you to look at the article that I posted, which should be above the video that you're watching if you're seeing this on Blogger, and I'm not quite sure where you'll be able to see it on Seattle Sports CO, but it will be there, so I advise you to have a look at it first before watching this. But without any further ado, let's get into the tape. This first play is a strip sack by Frank Clark. You can see the use of the juke move and his hand from the offensive lineman. And the fact that he managed to strip the ball means that he had the mental ability to not only sack the quarterback but force that ball out. First, you can see here that he tries the spin move, the juke move, and almost gets away from the defender, but he defends him quite well. Yet with his arms ability and his strength, he pushes him out, and as soon as Matt Ryan steps up the pocket, he fumbles the ball, and unfortunately it went recover. On this next play, Frank Clark gets awarded with a sack because he's the first one to get to Case Keenum, but there's not much on this play. You can clearly just see that he's one of the guys that steps up and makes the tackle on Case Keenum, as you can see on the replay. This next play is absolutely tremendous. A lot of you will probably remember this play against the Patriots, where Frank Clark just out-strengths the left tackle, and with his four or five fingers, is it his whole hand, grabs Tom Brady's jersey, pulls him back, and there's no way he can get away from that. It is a tremendous play that shows all of his ability. He goes around the left tackle, just keeps on pounding, and then with his hand pulls Tom Brady's jersey. It's just an unbelievable play and just shows his strength and perseverance on that play. Amazing. This next play is just a sack straight up through the middle. He's getting double teamed, yet Frank Clark just runs through both guys, guessing the snap count and getting to Case Keenum, and there's nothing that he can do on this play. Absolutely tremendous show of his ability. Look at that. He's double teamed. Yeah, he's so much faster, so much stronger than both the center and the guard. He just runs through them and straight up to Case Keenum. All right, this next play was against the New Orleans Saints, and I think the offensive lineman does a decent job on this play. Yet when Drew Brees steps up from the pocket, he's going to get engulfed by Frank Clark, as you managed to see on the replay in a bit. Obviously, there's the holding penalty, but the penalty is declined, and the Seattle gets the sack from Frank Clark. As you can see, number 55 right there. He goes around the tackle and the guard, and I think they do a decent job of holding him up, but not good enough. And Drew Brees, when he steps up, gets taken down. This next play is more of a cleanup sack by Frank Clark, and it's mostly caused by Cliff Haberl because he trips up Tyrod Taylor. But it's still worth mentioning because he's got to be there to be able to clean up those sacks. So it's still a nice play by Frank Clark to show that he gets off his feet quite fast and cleans up the sack for Cliff Haberl. And we might see that duel a lot of times in this next season because of Michael Bennett and how the way that he might be used next year. We also might be able to see the three guys on the pitch as well, which is going to be tremendous for Seattle. This next sack is mostly all Bobby Wagner, but Frank Clark also managed to get his hands in there, so he was also awarded it. On this next play, again, the Rams, they try and stop him, but he's just going to run through them. And bye-bye, Jared Goff. I mean, maybe he could have avoided the sack, probably could. But since he's a rookie quarterback, he didn't get the ball away, and Seattle gets the third down stop here by Frank Clark. And it's a very, very good play. They see that he just does a swift move with his hands, puts the lineman out of the play and just engulfs Jared Goff on that play. Very, very good play. This next one is also against the Rams. He got 2 sacks in this game. And this is going to be a straight up blitz by all the Seattle man, and that was an absolutely tremendous play. I mean, everybody just jumping up onto Jared Goff. You can give that sack to almost every single player on the line, but still Frank Clark is there, and he's part of the bull rush that just completely destroys that offensive line, as you can see there. Cassius Marsh, Michael Bennett, Frank Clark, everybody getting in there, even Bobby Wagner. And Cliff Averill did a nice job as well, as he gets his hands on him. This play is very, very good because Frank Clark sees that there's a gap in the middle, and he steps back from the tackle and runs right into the middle where the center is double covering Michael Bennett, and just allows Frank Clark a straight view of Tannehill, and he gets the sack. I think that this is a smart play by him, and some important plays that can happen in the future due to double teams. He steps up and manages to run through the hole. This is the Bobby Wagner sack again. I had some issues with the recording, so a couple of things might not be as good, but I'll try and clean it up next time. This sack is going to be against the San Francisco 49ers, and it's going to be a strip sack against Colin Kaepernick. Frank Clark doesn't really have much to do with the strip, but the sack he does, and it's a nice play by him. And I think he had 12.5 sacks this season, and it clearly showed that he improved a lot. And next season can only be better for him, as you'll be able to see on the replay. Colin Kaepernick only has one hand on the ball, but still, Frank Clark got to him. And the pressure was just too much for Colin, and he dropped the ball. Still a nice play. Alright, and this is going to be it for the first edition of... I'm also extremely sorry for 2 clips that show up from the Bills game, and you can only see this sack happening right now. I'm recording this after I've done the whole thing, so I'm not going to talk about that play. But I'm sorry about this. This is the best way that I could manage to get all these plays. I tried from other people, but they couldn't really help me. This is the best way that I managed to do this.